Just a few important items to get things set here for formatting and what's going to happen at this press conference. First of all, we're in a very tight time frame. We have about 30 minutes to do this media portion of it. So what's going to happen is each inductee from the class of 2009 will give a brief statement. And of course, at the end of it, we will allow the media to approach the dais and ask a few additional questions. But please be respectful of the time, and we will basically be shutting that down about 7:50. We're right here in the CBE. It's a magnificent facility, and the CEO of this facility, Kevin Henderson, is going to welcome us tonight. Kevin?
Thank you, Gary, and good evening to everyone, and welcome to the College Basketball Experience and National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame for the 4th Annual College Basketball Hall of Fame induction, press conference, and reception. Let me also offer a special welcome and thank you to all of our special guests, sponsors, dignitaries, friends, and most especially the honorees you see before you this evening on the dais. This will truly be another memorable night in the brief Linden, and where basketball tournaments such as the NAIA tournament, NCAA tournament, Big 6, Big 8, and Big 12 tournaments became an annual ritual at Old Municipal Hall in Kemper Arena right here in and around our downtown. Today the game continues to be nurtured by names and organizations such as the NABC, the NAIA, KU's Bill Self, MU's Mike Anderson, K-State's Frank Martin, UMKC's Matt Brown, KC Sports Commission, Sprint Center, MIAA Conference, and others in our area. The CBE is a house of college basketball built due to over 100 years of college basketball history, and it stands as an enduring, highly energetic, and interactive monument to the very best coaches, players, teams, and contributors who ever graced a basketball coach at the collegiate level. This facility would not be possible without the contributions from those great players, coaches, teams, and contributors whose work, sacrifice, unbelievable play, coaching prowess, legend, and lore are the cement that binds the spirit and meaning of this place. We celebrate the game and what the game means to millions in our country here at the CBE on a daily basis. Tonight we salute and celebrate each of you for your individual contributions and achievements that have helped to make this game one of the best sporting events our nation has to offer. On behalf of the NABC Foundation and the College Basketball Experience and Hall of Fame, we sincerely thank each of you for being here on this special occasion and welcome you once again. Thank you.
The selection process each year for the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame is handled by a blue ribbon committee comprised of college executives and administrators who have been really instrumental in the game of college basketball. The chair of that committee is Reggie Minton, who also is the Deputy Executive Director of the NABC. And Reggie is going to have the privilege of introducing to you tonight the class of 2009. Reggie?
As you heard, we're on a pretty tight schedule. I don't know what you're going to do when these other guys get up here. We're on a pretty tight schedule, so those of you that have been in here before usually had a chance for me to share some anecdotes. And I have anecdotes on most of these folks sitting at the table here, but I will bypass those so that we can get on and get with the people that you're here to see. We have contributors to this great game, and the two contributors that are going in this year are the NCAA's first executive director, Walter Byers, who unfortunately could not be with us tonight. The other gentleman that's going in with us is Bill Wall. Bill Wall was the former executive director. Saddened that he can't be here with us, but we are thrilled that his wife can be here to represent. Legends. I feel silly to even represent and tell you who the legends are sitting down here, but I will. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. As I was walking through the airport today, I saw them on the cover of a book. And you know what? They belong together. I think we think of them together. They're sitting together. They should come into this Hall of Fame together. They raised the level of college basketball to where it is today, without any question. At this time, I would like to bring our first inductee up, and that's Bill Walton.
55 years ago, I came to my first NAI basketball tournament here as a high school coach. This was the mecca of basketball as I knew it growing up. And today, I'm honored to be here and to represent the thousands of people, players, coaches, referees, doctors, many of you who have been involved with the USA basketball program. And, you know, people ask me, how did it happen? Well, I was lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. When the second year here, John McGlennon's team was the first African-American team to play in the NAIA. And I watched those great basketball players. And I was able to take these back to a little school in Illinois called McMurray College, which allowed me to do some things on the national level. And I became a gopher for Cliff Wells, who was the NABC executive director, and the throwback to the early days of which most of us have forgotten. And a gentleman by the name of Will Rankin, who was the later past president of the NABC, and myself were probably the only two living people who went to the Springfield Hall of Fame and visited with Ed Hickox when there was no Hall of Fame, no hole in the ground in Springfield, and the old building of the first gym was still available. Cliff Wells, Henry Iva, Adolph Rupp, Stan Watts were my mentors. They took a liking to a kid who was willing to work and young enough to be stupid enough to do what used to be done with the tickets. You know, and I succeeded Cliff as the executive director and moved on to Joe Van Sisson, and he moved on to Jim Harding. I mean, so that we had the distinguished constitution of the people who built basketball are not being forgotten in this Hall of Fame. We've always had great cooperation from the NBA and the NBA Players Association. Those kids, and you know, Magic and Bird both played on national teams representing the United States out of the country. Many people thought that I spent so much time with the Russians in Eastern Europe that I was a member of the CIA. I traveled with bomb dogs, security personnel, and these kinds of things. Now today, I wore my 1984 gold medal ring, which Bob Knight and Pat Summitt did. Well, Wayman Tisdale was on that team. And what a delightful person. And I was trying to talk to Wayman before he passed away to play for the 2010 Paralympic team in London because we would have won another gold medal in 2010. And he just laughed and said, I'm going to be out recording. And this morning they played some of his beautiful music. Now, whether you like that kind of music or not, I happen to like it. And some of the lyrics were wonderful. I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to see my Murray family here, the NABC family, the USA Basketball family, and I thank a heck of a lot of people. Thank you.
I'd like to say that I'm honored to be here to receive this from Wayman. One of the best things for me is that he was aware of this. He was so excited, called a few people after I believe Coach Tubbs called him, and he said, babe, I'm going to go through with a pretty good class. So I'm going to be the briefest one, of course. But on behalf of my children and I appreciate you all, and I thank you to the committee.